Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering May 9th through the 15th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings, meaning whenever it pops up in your feed or on your screen, that is the time that the messages are meant for you. So welcome. We are in the what's called the dark moon phase. So it's a couple days before the new moon in Taurus. And this is a time for us to nurture, soothe. It's a time to surrender to what is. It's a really great time to release any residual things that haven't been resolved this full moon period, as we're just about to start a brand new new moon, full moon cycle. So I will get into more in the new moon in Taurus pick a card reading that I will post on the 11th. But I wanted to give you some insight into this week and what you can be proactive doing if you're watching this before the new moon. If not, know that the messages can still apply, maybe not necessarily in the phase of the moon, but in your personal life. Maybe the messages that come out are pertaining to a situation or an experience that you're having if this is being watched in the future after this time period. So again, this week, soothing, nurturing, surrender. I'm really just getting that energy of being gentle on yourself, being kind to yourself. I've talked about the intensity of this month. We have Pluto in retrograde, Saturn will go into retrograde, Mercury will go into retrograde, we have an eclipse, and then obviously a new moon and a full moon coming in. So, this is a really great time to be self-aware, to be in your body and your feelings, non-judgmental, detaching from being outcome dependent on anything, and really just kind of staying in the present moment. Foot baths, warm cups of tea, snuggled in blankets. That's what I'm feeling personally. So I chose cards to support this nurturing energy that I'm feeling. So I'm going to pull from my God cards, from the Love and Light deck. I'm also going to pull a card from the Cherub Angel cards for children, Nature's Whispers, and Oracle of the Angels, and then I'll finish out with an overall prayer for the week with the Wild Offering Oracle. All right, friends, let me open up space. Let me invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance. I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, so connecting with that highest vibration of unconditional love. What is the most important message that the Earth Angels need to hear this week? Nurturing, soothing, loving guidance this week. Okay. And let's begin. Oh, let love light the way. It says, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you, and he will neither fail you nor abandon you. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I'm pretty sure this will be the cover card. It is so lovely. So we're in this transformation, I feel, of spreading our wings. I've been working with control and flow. These words feeling constricted, restricted with myself and clients, and this experience of influence over the inspirational pull. So this week, you may be faced with problem solving. You might be faced with needing to make some decisions, some changes. That's what the Scorpio full moon brought up. It was brought up the unseen, the hidden, the stuff we knew that was there, but we didn't want to deal with, that kind of came to surface. And so I feel like paying attention to when your body is in that problem solver, or your mind, you're in that problem solver mode. If you're asking yourself, what do I do about this situation? Right? How do I make it better? What do I do about it? I personally have been practicing pulling back, leaning back from problem solving, forcing something, the control. And I've been getting back into my body and paying attention to how I'm feeling. I'm feeling scared, confused, hurt, frustrated, annoyed, curious. I'm feeling despondent. I'm feeling compassionate and loving, right? Being able to kind of get into that space and understanding like what control feels like in your body, or what that impulse to make something happen comes in. And I feel like once you recognize that, you can relax, breathe, soften, and open. Now you're open in this space of letting love light the way. Being able to, this is a reminder really, to be able to call on the divine for assistance, right? I always say, leave room for the Holy Spirit. Being able to, in that pause, I feel like I don't know what to do about this situation. If frustration and annoyance is coming up, and saying, okay, let me drop down from my head into my body, into that innate wisdom, right? We're in a stage now where we're transforming old habits, old ways of doing, old ways of reacting to things, right? Being impulsive, or people pleasing, or negating our own needs or feelings, or what it is that we want in the world, or even in our personal space. So understand that change and transformation and adjustments take time. It's okay for you to say, I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm just feeling really tired, and being able to pull back. That's you getting real, honest, and raw with yourself, right? And this is where I feel like this, they call it like the dark moon, or I think I've also heard it called the balsamic moon that we're in. This is where the nurturing comes in. And so you'll know you'll need nurturing if you're feeling, headaches coming on, or you're feeling tension, or you're feeling pain in your body. That's your body saying something is off. I'm out of alignment in some way. And I would encourage you to practice noticing that, just noticing it in your body when you feel that tension in your middle back, or you feel that pressure in your chest. Could be connected to anxiety, could be connected to pain in the lower back. This is a time to really drop down into your body. And, I know I've been talking about this a lot, but this is a new way. Well, not new, but for Earth Angels that are going through transformation, this is a powerful way to shift out of these cycles and patterns and experiences that continue to happen over and over and over again, right? We tend to be reactionary, or tend to be the problem solver and fixer mode. And so now we're kind of dropping down in this space and asking yourself, well, what do I want? How do I feel? And God is reminding you that you don't have to do this and go through these transformations and changes and these hard times. I'm hearing about loved ones that are passing away. I'm hearing about relationship conflicts. I'm hearing about job discomfort and societal discomforts, and all this upheaval that's happening. So remember, as an Earth Angel, you embody this beautiful light that God is reminding of you, that can be transformative, that can solve solve the problems and the best and highest for everybody. So I just kind of see your hearts opening up even further. I see, clearing out. The more light you take in, the more it shines a light on the shadow, right? The hidden, the unseen that needs to come up and out. So it's like we're in this rhythmic dance of light and dark and expansion and contraction, and everybody's in different cycles every minute of the day, basically. So through this growth spurt that you're going through, it feels like, when kids are growing and they've got pain in their body and the doctor says, oh, they're fine, it's growing pains, you're like stretching beyond what's comfortable. You're in uncharted territories, right? Or you're sailing into uncharted territory. So now more than ever this week, being gentle on yourself in the way that you navigate, right? Taking one step at a time. Knowing that God has your back. I think the beautiful thing here is He will be with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you, right? So when we're listening to the wisdom of the heart and making inspired action, one thing leads to another. So I feel like this is speaking to some of you who feel frozen, or maybe you feel stuck, or maybe you feel confused or angry. And remember, that's all a normal part of the human experience. And it gives us just a heads up we're just coming out of alignment with something. So when you drop down into your body and connect with how you're feeling, ask yourself, well, what is it that I do want, and how do I want to feel? Well, I would like a little bit of this, and I would like a little bit of that, and I'm enjoying this experience, and this feels good. And so it gives you kind of like a pathway to what it is that you do want when you're experiencing things that you don't want. So let love light the way. God, additional messages. What additional message to support the Earth Angels? I'm going to pull two. I think I always pull two with this deck because they're teeny tiny. Two. Let's see. So I've got listen closely and you'll hear the messages. So before I even pull the next one, I feel like some of you are in that space of problem solving. What do I do? And maybe you've been going to readings, maybe you've been going to friends, maybe you've been going to your therapist, maybe you've been going externally, and that's all fine. I think it all can be supportive, but it also, when we're going so much outside of ourselves, we can get too far away and get really confused. So if you're in a state of making changes and adjustments and maybe doubts or worries are coming in, God's reminding you like, hey, I'm with you. And I need you to come back and listen closely, and you'll hear the messages. Look at this cutie with the kitty. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I got distracted, but it's such a cute picture. So listen closely, and we're talking about the heart, listening closely to the heart wisdom, which again is imperative for you drop out of the head, problem solving. What do I do this? I go on the hunt. I've got to force something penetrative, make something happen, and drop down into the body and ask the Holy Spirit, ask the divine, lead the way, show me the next step, open the door for me. And if I'm at a standstill, which happens quite often, for me, I've learned like, all right, it's not time. I don't know the answer yet. I haven't been inspired, so I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to leave it alone, Gladys. And then, I just kind of talk to God and saying, all right, God, this is confusing and it's really scary and it's frustrating. And, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to leave this up to you. And I relax, breathe, soften, and open. And I can tell you it's so amazing how my life has unfolded so naturally and so beautifully and so healthily, if that's a word. So, you can have support, which is fantastic, but really be mindful of people who are telling you what to do. You need to do this, you need to do that, you should do this, you should do that. Nobody can tell you better than that innate wisdom, right? That's within you. And the other card here is, whom do you enjoy being with? I love it. So, part of the shifts that's going on in our lives, especially with relationships, right? Whom do you enjoy being with? So, I am noticing this pulling that earth angels are experiencing, right? Pulling of energies, tug of war going on inside. And like I said, if you're going into challenges or you're making adjustments and it's confusing and there's uncertainty, I feel like they're also saying, listen closely. You might be in that space where you're asking and you might not get anything right away. Usually that means there's a period of rest in some way, but then drop down into, well, whom do you enjoy being with? For some of you, it just may be your couch. It may just be your bed. It may be your animal. It may be, the barista at the coffee shop who's nice to you and gives you a smile, right? It doesn't have to be somebody that you're intimate with or somebody that you know on a personal level. It can just be opening your heart to experiences that you are enjoying. More of this or something even better. I just keep feeling the messages here are connected to alignment. And it feels like some of you, and obviously this is a general reading, so it may not be for everybody, but I feel like a lot of you might be repelling things in your life that are no longer a vibrational match, and now you're kind of moving into a space of, I would really like to enjoy this more. I just don't want to do this anymore. I know with me being a 9, I'm in my 9-year cycle. I'm in a 9 this year, and planet Earth is in a 5, which is about transformation and change. 9 is about endings and completion. So I'm finding myself just waking up and having experience saying, what, I don't want to do that anymore. What, I'm over that. What? I don't have a charge to that anymore. And I'm just, instead of, like I said, analyzing stuff, I'm saying, okay, here we are. And I'm really practicing experiencing the present moment. And, I'm seeing all these things I didn't see before. And there's so many hidden messages and so much divine guidance. And it's so cool, right? So when we're operating through our mind constantly, we're constantly in that masculine energy of do and give and action. It doesn't leave room or space for us to get into the present and follow the leads and the guidance. So also practice, when you feel that control in your body, you feel that impulse to do something about something, or I'm going to fix it, I'm going to make it better, I'm going to save it, I'm going to change it. Pause, relax, breathe soft and open. Listen to the wisdom of your heart and then ask yourself, well, what do I want to be doing? How do I feel? And this is life homework, friends. I'm just giving you these messages. Well, the divine is offering you this guidance to sow seeds. Some of you may have heard this over and over again. And again, that's part of the reminders that we need as human amnesia kicks in. Some of you, this is a new concept and it's just being kind of that your seeds are being sown. And some of you are in action mode and transition mode. So that's the beautiful thing about messages like this, is that it can appeal to us in all stages. Because above all, regardless of where you're at, the important messages here is letting love light the way, the divine, letting the divine open doors for you, right? Listening to the wisdom of your heart, and you'll hear the messages. Hang around with people who light you up, that feel good. And sometimes it's not people. Sometimes it's, like I said, a pet or music or a canvas and your paint, something, right? So shifting into that love energy this week would be so powerful. But remember, you're free to choose. You're always free to choose. So what action steps can you take? What action steps can you take this week? What action steps can I take this week to support them? Some guidance on a way forward, especially with the new moon in Taurus coming in. I'm gonna go with this. There's 2 here. Yeah, there's 2 here. Okay. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Make a decision. It's card number 11. new beginnings. So again, some of you are in that space, like, do I do more of the old? Do I do what's expected of me? Some of you are kind of coming into your own and you're shifting and you're learning, or you're getting to know yourself on deeper levels. And so a lot of times we can be in these commitments and these ties and binds of people's expectations. There's a quote I say all the time. If you've ever seen Bridgerton, one of the best quotes that I've heard in so long, especially connected to EarthAngels, was one of the characters, in the movie. He basically doesn't live in accordance with societal expectations. And the quote that he says is, it takes courage to live outside of the societal expectations. Now I'm paraphrasing, but basically, it takes courage for you to be your authentic self and show up in the world. And we see that with so many of our, the feminist theology talks about these women so often: Joan of Arc, Thecla, Perpetua, Kuan Yin, Isis, all these women that showed up, Mary Magdalene, all these women that showed up in the world that said, this is who I am. And a lot of them died for it, which is so, maddening, right? And we're kind of coming into this space now of owning our power, whatever that is, right? Your voice, your self-expression, your radiance, your beauty, your love, your kindness, your compassion, your gentleness, your fierceness, your message, right? Joan of Arc, I have this quote on my phone so I don't forget it. Her famous quote is, "I'm not afraid. I was born to do this." I have that on my phone and I'm constantly reminded, that's right, I'm not afraid. I was born to do this. I was born to be this person. I was born to work in this energy. I was born for this. And so I feel like the divine is encouraging you as things are coming to surface and we're going to have to make changes. Obviously, listen to the lead. We don't want to force anything. Be patient, pull back, give yourself some space. You'll know when the time is right. It's just, unfortunately, we live in an impulsive society of like, I want it now. And so the spiritual journey does not operate that way at all whatsoever. So there's a time for everything, a time, a place for everything, right? So make a decision just to make a decision, right? Say, I'm going to be open to following the lead. God, show me the way. If you show me the way, my decision is I will follow your lead. If you want me to wait, I'll wait. If you want me to move, I'll move, right? But make a decision, and it's all coming from new beginnings. Decisions based on who you are now and not, again, what society expects of you, what your family and friends expect of you, what old traditions, beliefs, old ways of doing things. Remember, you can't make mistakes in a way that is detrimental, because everything is learning, right? So a mistake, is an opportunity to learn and grow from. So if you can free yourself from that perfection and move forward, one thing will lead to another. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Like Jesus's prophets, his apostles had to follow his lead. He said, take these breads and fishes and go feed the people. And they were looking at, 2 loaves. How are we going to feed all these people? But they trusted and had faith and had this belief, right? And this power that says, okay, if Master, Divine, God, Creator, friend is saying this, then I'm going to do it. And then they kept coming back and they fed until everybody's bellies were full. See, same thing with the servants and the water into wine. Take this and go serve the people. And they put their their water containers in the water, and they took it out, and when they poured, wine came, right? It takes some level of faith and trust to take a leap of faith, right? But you'll know because it's inspired action. It's coming from the pull of the heart. You'll be scared like heck, right? But yet there's this pull, and there's this fire, and there's this passion within you. And, I haven't really deep dived into the Taurus new moon yet, but, you're really kind of getting this stuff to come up and out, because in a few days, that's when we start taking action. That's when we start putting in our wishes and our intentions. And, the last new moon, one of my intentions and my wishes is to ignite passion in my life. And I thought it was going to be in one area of my life, and it has been in a completely different area of my life. And I just kind of chuckle now that the cycle and the month is closing out, because I'm like, wow, I've really experienced passion, but it was in a way that I never expected. And that's the fun, friends. That's when we can be open to and detach from the outcome, right? So much of what people do is outcome dependent. Like, I'm doing this because I'm expecting this. And, it just leads to a lot of frustration and disappointment and anger. So when we can kind of get back into the experience and saying, okay, universe, I would love to experience passion on deeper levels, right? Because that's my word this year. I have just felt this energy in my vibration. I felt this fire that's rising up in my belly, but it came from frustration. It came from anger. It came from change. And it came from just frankly annoyance, right? And so because of those experiences, it led me to other things that I was able to experience passion. So, this is where if you chose a word, right? Check in with your word this year and understand that when we set intentions, we need to be open into the way to the divine says, okay, let's have fun with this, right? And so now here I am saying, oh boy, did I learn about passion, and that was so fun, right? And it wasn't what I expected, and I'm curious to see how more things unfold. So make a decision just to make a decision. And then the other card is expansion. I love it. 11 and 12 together. That's so cool. So expansion. So this is what's happening where, and there's also too, I'm seeing this, what would appear to be the image of a masculine and feminine energy, the divine mother, the divine father, your inner masculine, your inner feminine, but also too, this can represent deeper levels of masculine and feminine, in your world, right? In your relationships. Let's see here. Expansion. Taking things to new heights, right? Reaching past your comfort zone. It's so exciting. I would love, if this is really resonating and your life is transforming, I would love to hear from you. If you want to leave a comment or you want to send me an email, I would just love to hear the stories of how, life is expanding for you, how you're following the divine, how this is working for you or unfolding for you. It really is inspirational. Again, another way that I have found passion in my life is through others' experiences. And the coaching work that I do is just, I support clients, I guide them, I shine a light. My gift is being able to see the unseen, right? So with my radiant light, I go in and I shine a light on the unseen, right? And I just bring it to surface. And then it's been so incredible to see how your lives have transformed and shifted. And it's just like an honor for me to kind of peek in on that aspect of your life. And, understand that you're going through this journey, you're going through this transformation, and support is necessary. And, you have to go alone. So I feel like for some of you, be open to support, not necessarily just working with me, but different levels of support in your life. How are you receiving guidance or support or love or messages or, energies from other people? Sometimes it's just making a decision to be open, to be receptive, to be nourishing, to be aware, to be connected, to be in tune, right? All these beautiful words. So understand that you're expanding, the planet is expanding, the divine feminine energy is expanding, which is activating activating the divine masculine energy to expand. I mean, it's such fascinating times, friends. And this is where it's really important for you to pull out of any drama, anything that's sucking you in, anything that's activating or triggering fear and drama and feelings of out of controlness, right? Know that it's kind of a mirror, because whatever you're seeing that's activating you is going on inside of you as well. So being able to, just cocoon a little bit. Some of you may need to go into that cave, right? And cocoon and find the depth of your own, wisdom, right? Some of you need to go into that space too, or I would encourage some of you to go into that space to listen. I say these words all the time, and I am creating a platform for these words: silence, stillness, pause, nothingness, surrender, rest. Right? These words are so powerful and can be a navigator for us to move forward in a more grounded, connected way. So what are you being gifted with this week with the Oracle of the Angels? God, what are the Earth Angels being gifted with this week? Oh, letting go. Oh boy. I'm not going to sing it, but I hear that Frozen song in my head. Release, surrender. So especially if you're watching in these next couple days, but just, for the week in general, especially because, like I said, Pluto is retrograde, Saturn's going retrograde, Mercury is going retrograde. We have the eclipse coming in. We'll have the Sagittarius full moon, which is a fire sign at the end of the month. We've got this Taurus new moon coming in, which is earth energy. So I'm excited to see how everything unfolds. But letting go. So this is card number 6, 42, 4 plus 2 equals 6. And 6 is about creativity. It's about family. It's about growing something. And it's about home, right? So maybe you had this old sense of home, or this old definition of family, or this old way that you would create in the world. And how can you release and surrender, again, anything that's we're forcing, anything that we're trying to make happen? Just that word, being able to let go and release and surrender the word try, right? Kind of getting into that space, and ask yourself, what are you willing to do? And what are you not willing to do? Sometimes the clarity of letting go and asking yourself these questions: am I willing to do that? And if it's a yes or a no, there's comes like this fire in your belly when you give yourself or put out that statement. Am I willing to keep doing this? It might be a yes or no, or what am I willing to do, right? A lot energies have changed so much. A lot of what we started has transformed and changed, and I've got to make a decision based on the now. The decisions I'm making is on how I'm feeling now, and I'm kind of like going through the days, making the decisions as they come, because I have no idea what the energy is going to be. I mean, so far it's worked out, but I cannot think so far ahead with decisions because I don't know. There's so much unknown in the world right now, right? So what are you willing to do? And what are you not willing to do anymore? Are you not willing to give up your time, your energy, your precious time, your precious energy? Where are you putting your focus and your attention, right? What are you willing to do and what are you not willing to do? And then being able to release that up into the ethers. I love how she's got this, these hands coming up, like just to receive as well, receiving guidance and the light coming in. I mean, again, let love guide the way. Some of you, maybe it's just kind of getting honest with yourself or getting real and just kind of being able to look at your thoughts, right? And the experiences you're having. And, it really is looking at the ego, the ego that isn't healthy for us, the ego Let me rephrase that. The ego that wants to keep us small, that tells us lies, that, is in fear mode. We kind of want to take a look at that and ask yourself, well, is that a true statement? Do I really believe that, right? This is where, space and pause and just really looking at what's on your mind and how you're feeling, right? Being able to observe. God, there's so much wisdom in observation. There's so much guidance and messages and pause and reflection. It's so powerful, friends. So letting go this week. Letting go. So when I work with clients who have lost loved ones, one of the common things that people they've heard, or if they're struggling with something, or people tell themselves to let go, get over, and move on. And sometimes that can be a really hard word, especially for earth angels. Like, why can't I let this go? Why can't I get over this? Why can't I move on? Right? It's more of like, more that you're not doing right? It's another thing you can't get. So sometimes I say, if that letting go adds a lot of pressure or frustration, just moving to the space to replacing it with the word acceptance, right? How can you accept? How can you move to the place of being able to accept? Well, this is where I am. This is what's happening. And, it's a lot of times, all right, this is the situation and we can't change where we're at right now. So if we can get to that place of accepting, we may not like it, but if we can accept, this is the nature of the beast right now. This is the experience. This is the situation. This is the challenge. If we can accept that right here and right now and get out of like the fantasy and what the pretend and what we wanted, and come back to the here and now and accept this is where I'm at. From there, you can move forward one step at a time, right? From there, the fog clears. So maybe for some of you, it's really kind of getting to that place of acceptance. This is where I am. This is who I am. This is who they are. And that is okay. And from there, you can make adjustments from what is here and now. Not what we want, not what we wish, not what we've seen, not from the promises, but here and now. Woo! Okay, final message. Prayer. Prayer for the week. God, what is the prayer how you'd like to gift your earth angels this week? That was easy. Independence. Look at that butterfly or that moth. Looks like a moth spreading its wings. So the message says, the more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, right? The more freestanding you become. God, this is so beautiful. And the prayer is, help me feed and love this inner child, dear Lord, right? Oh my gosh, that couldn't be any more perfect. And this is the space that you're moving into. We're working on interdependence. We're separating from codependency, meaning like, I need you. I need this job to make me happy or to pay my bills, or I need this money, or I need this person, or I need this experience in my life in order for me to be happy, in order for me to be fulfilled, in order for me to fill in the blank, right? It's a lie, right? So we're now learning to fill from the inside out. I am fulfilled. I am love. I am spacious. I am intuitive. I am, right? You already are in this moment. I am free right here and now. If you pause right now and you pull into yourself, you are free right now in this moment, and you are love and loved right now in this moment, right? Love is all around you. That quote I say all the time by Rumi, I opened my arms to love and love embraced me like a lover. I mean, anytime I go into that space of fear or doubt, or I feel that lack of love to myself or in my world, I'm reminded like, oh yeah, that's right. Love itself is my lover, right? Love itself is filling me up, and it shoop, it naturally fills me up. It's almost like kind of like I don't know, it's like a video game that, you all of a sudden you take a vitamin or something, you get this power boost. Like, that's what that quote does for me. It just fills me up, and I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. I am love. Love is right here and right now, and I don't have to do anything, right, for it. It just is. And when we can tap into that stream and we can feel filled up from that space, everything that's in alignment with that comes in. It's like a magnet. You become this powerful, like, it's like I'm seeing, like, those magnets that like pick up cars in the junkyard. Like, when you're in that vibrational alignment, it's like shook, and it starts to pick up all things that are in that vibration, rather than, well, if I do this, I'm going to get this. And well, if I take care of this one and I do that, and it's like the game of life. It's like, we really got to stop playing that game. It's like a losing battle. So, getting to this place, we're getting into this place of independence, interdependence, working with other people who are independent and vibrating and strong and powerful. Remember, the words that you are surrounded with, the energy that you fill your body with, or that's surrounding you, you become. I mean, that message has been told over and over and over again, right? And now it's a time to live it, to breathe it, to be it, to embody it. It's not about getting it right or wrong. It's not about figuring it out, right? And it's almost like just learning. We're learning about ourselves. We're learning about our spiritual evolution. We have access to wisdom now on this planet that generations before us couldn't even fathom, right? Why? Because we're safe, we're secure, right? And this is why there's that consciousness out there that wants to keep filling you with fear and doubt, right? Because it's so disempowering. There's no way you can access your power when you're constantly surrounded by fear and doubt and negativity and doom and gloom and blah, 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 right? And so you remember, as Earth Angels, we've come here to do things differently. We've come here to be different. We've come here, especially in a space and time where we have a lot more freedoms than any generation has ever had before. So be you. I'm going to end it on this. Be you. Nobody does it better. Period. All right, friends, let me close space for us today. Let me thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. Oh man, these words felt so nourishing and so supportive. Oh, there's a little fly here. What's your medicine? Huh? What are you coming here to tell us? I'll have to look up, I don't know, it looks like a fruit fly or something. Where the heck that came from. So I just want to thank you for watching. If I can be supportive of you in any way, you can connect with me. My information is in the notes. The decks that I've used. Again, I just love you, and I love you for being here. Thank you so much for showing up week after week and viewing and liking and subscribing. It's just really awesome, and I appreciate you. So I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.